Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
So I take it that Diddy will not be Diddy bopping anytime soon, as his homes in both LA and Miami were raided yesterday afternoon by Homeland Security. Diddy, who was reportedly not at either of the homes at the time, he was actually on a plane set to take his daughters out of town for spring break. However, those plans were quickly diverted when agents approached Diddy's plane, causing a stir, leaving Diddy pacing outside trying to think of a master plan. Now, we know that last time Diddy was outside pacing was shortly after he settled with Cassie Ventura, so we know right about now Diddy is probably panicking. Now, while the exact reasoning behind the raid has not been divulged to the public, one could assume that it more than likely stems from one of his many lawsuits, which include abuse, assault, and human trafficking, just to name a few. What you may not know is that Diddy's most recent accuser, Lil Rod, is stating that Diddy is harassing his 8-year-old daughter, the daughter's mother, his ex-spouses, and has even been trying to get third parties to get Lil Rod to terminate his counsel and hire counsel who has a relationship with Diddy. Now, how stupid do you think he is? We are going to break down this whole story, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. Now, I'm sure by now Diddy is probably wishing he would have settled with Cassie when she first requested him to, because him giving her that pushback caused her lawsuit, which then caused him to have to settle with her. Then that caused other lawsuits coming down the pipeline. So this in turn has caused a trickle-down effect of everyone wanting to sue Diddy for things that he's done to them in the past. So with that karma, now we have Homeland Security going through your gates, searching your homes, and temporarily detaining your sons. Diddy, what did you do? Now, 2 homes on the opposite coast were both searched yesterday, with Diddy being the target of a federal investigation which was carried out by a Homeland Security team that handles human trafficking crimes, according to a senior federal law enforcement official. Now, this probe is being led by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and carried out by the Department of Homeland Security investigation. Now, because Diddy was unsuspecting of these special guests, they came locked, loaded, and ready with heavily armed teams of Homeland Security investigation agents, and they searched Diddy's home from top to bottom, both the home in Los Angeles as well as the home in Miami. They were also riding around in armored vehicles, partly because there was word that Diddy employs armed private security at both of his residences. Now, agents were authorized to search for documents, phones, computers, other electronic devices, anything that held data or videos. And we remember in Cassie's complaint that Diddy did actually have her make videos as well, so there's no telling what's going to be seen or found in those videos, phones, and things of that nature. Now, sources say that these 2 raids are all related to an ongoing trafficking investigation that they are conducting on Mr. Combs. Now, again, Diddy was not at either of these homes during the time of the raid. However, his sons, Justin and Christian, were both at home. They were handcuffed and detained outside the property. However, they were both released without being charged, according to multiple sources. Now, we've gone over most of Diddy's lawsuits, but the one that I did not touch on quite yet was the one with producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. This was a 75-page document that detailed a lot of what was going on recently in Diddy's camp when Lil Rod Jones, who was a producer, actually produced on Diddy's last album. Now, the 75-page lawsuit that is complete with photos alleges that the music mogul reportedly groped Jones and forced him to solicit sex workers and take illegal drugs. Now, while Diddy is denying all of these claims and accusations, Lil Rod's attorney, who happens to be Tyrone Blackburn, has sent a letter to the judge on March 23rd, pretty much stating that Diddy has done some very unsavory things when it comes to handling his client. Starting in midpoint of this letter, it goes on to say that although they have been in constant contact with this writer through threatening emails and letters, the remaining defendants have yet to appear in this case. Instead, defendant Sean Combs, through his representatives, have engaged in concerning behavior, including manufacturing stories about plaintiff on TMZ and dispatching his agents to harass plaintiff's 8-year-old daughter, the mother of his child, and ex-spouses, all of whom have expressed fear of potential harm by defendant Combs. Moreover, defendant Sean Combs Homes has attempted to contact plaintiff through third parties and to persuade plaintiff to terminate this writer and hire counsel who has a relationship with defendant Combs. These actions have compelled the plaintiff and his loved one to file a police report. This writer has raised concerns surrounding this harassing behavior, and they doubled down and indicated that their harassing behavior will continue. Consequently, the plaintiff has reported these actions to the California, New York, and New Jersey state bars. Now again, this letter was sent on the 23rd. There was possible threats going on, and they were saying that these threats weren't going to stop. So 2 days later is when the raid happened. If this had anything to do with it, we do not know. However, I'm sure it will soon come out. Now, speaking on things coming out soon, Mr. Al B. Sure has taken to the stage to speak about some things. Now, you all may know Al B. Sure's son, Quincy, is also the son of none other than the beautiful late, great Kim Porter. Now, Kim also shared 3 children with Puffy, and they had this long on-again, off-again romance, and many felt that Kim's untimely death was very suspicious. She was supposedly coming out with a tell-all book, and next thing you know, she died. Now, Al B. Sure always confessed his love for Kim, and he was very hurt when she passed. He was constantly speaking about how something just was not right when it came to her passing. Then years later, Al collapses while he's doing a music video, and he was in a coma for months, experiencing several illnesses, and doctors did not know if he was going to pull through. For years, many have suspected that a certain someone had something to do with it, and now it seems like Al is coming out to let us know that he's been feeling the same way too.
To destroy someone's life with lies, with breach of trust, and with your toxic behavior, take it as a loan, because you will have to repay that loan with interest. The karma is coming back to you. So stop hurting good people. God bless you.
Now, 5 hours before we were even alerted that Diddy's home was raided, Al B. Sure posted this to his Instagram page. Doctor, say it again for those in the cheap seats who worked undercover, resulting in the multi-platinum music artist, producer, multiple organ system failure. Hashtag MOSF. Then he posted this: 1 + 1 = you. Is the math finally mathing?
Be living your life, doing very well, and within hours to a few days become exceedingly critically ill. You were so sick at the time when we met. You had something called acute on chronic liver failure, where your liver got so sick so quickly that most people with that severity of disease will die of their disease within 28 days. Around 90% of the people will perish. And so the fact that you were able to get through that is a miracle in and of itself. And to be so incredibly sick and then have to undergo such a massive operation with a liver transplant is also a testament to your, spiritual, psychological, as well as physical reserves that you have. Most people do not survive this. And you were as sick as a patient can be. You were on medications to keep your blood pressure up and your heart beating. You were on a ventilator to keep breathing.
For 38 days.
Yes. You were on dialysis to take the place of your kidneys. You were on medications to stop you from bleeding to death. You got massive amounts of blood transfusions. You were, as you said, in a coma from
blood transfusions.
Yes. Untold numbers. I can't even remember how much. Many units of blood.
And I believe I was septic at the time as well. I was septic at 100 fever.
You had fevers. You had encephalopathy, which is the coma state you were in from liver failure. You were unresponsive.
And multiple organ failure as well, I was told.
Yes, multi-system organ failure. And your lungs were so sick at one time, even with the ventilator, we couldn't even push enough oxygen into your lungs for you to breathe adequately. You were struggling to keep enough oxygen going to your organs and your brain, even on the ventilator. Something called ARDS, or acute respiratory distress syndrome, which in and of itself, if someone comes in just with that in renal failure, over a 50% mortality rate.
Now, with all of that being said, I'll Be Sure is nothing short than a walking miracle. But what all happened to him? I'll Be Sure is questioning it, and he's feeling the same way about how Kim was taken out. And it seems like he's saying that Puffy's karma is finally coming to him. What I need you to do is tell me, what do you think about all of this stuff surrounding Puff? What do you think about them raiding these two homes? And what do you think is going to happen to him in the end? Leave a comment and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.